Little Tails Lab!
Welcome back, little scientists and story lovers. I'm Vesper, your lab storyteller. I hope you enjoyed our last video. Let me know in the comments what you thought. If you'd like your story to be featured next, drop your ideas below. Who knows? Maybe your mystery will be the center of our next tale. And don't forget, if you haven't already, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with fellow explorers and story lovers. Ready for a new story? Let's go!
The sun had just risen above the horizon, bathing the airfield in warm golden light. But Kai was already on his feet, bouncing with excitement like a young deer. His lively eyes, green like leaves in a summer forest, shone with impatience. Today was the day of his 10th solo jump, and the feeling in his chest was stronger than anything he had ever experienced before.
Easy there, Rocket.
His father chuckled, placing a hand on his shoulder.
The sky isn't going anywhere.
But Kai knew the sky could be fickle. Just last week, while practicing a spiral descent, a sudden gust of wind had thrown him off balance. Though he'd landed safely, that feeling of lost control had stayed etched in his memory. That day, as the plane climbed higher, Kai noticed dark clouds gathering on the horizon. Instructor Michael, a man with a beard as thick as a forest bush, frowned.
Looks like we've got some weather moving in. Maybe we should postpone.
Please, just one jump.
Kai begged, clutching his favorite charm, a tiny silver parachute his grandfather had given him.
I promise, I'll be careful.
When he leaped out, he felt that familiar euphoria. 3 seconds of free fall, wind whistling past his ears, the world shrinking beneath him. But then, the gust of wind was stronger than anything he'd ever felt. His parachute twisted like a leaf in a storm, and Kai knew he'd lost control. The ground below was no longer the familiar landscape of runways and hangars. Now, it was an endless green carpet of jungle, with no trace of civilization in sight. When he woke up, the first thing he noticed was the smell, a mix of sweet pineapple, salty sea air, and something exotic he couldn't place. He opened his eyes to see an ocean of sky blue stretching to the horizon, and beyond it, a gently sloping volcano wrapped in a thin mist.
This isn't anywhere near home.
He whispered to himself. As he began to explore, the island seemed alive. A palm tree with red leaves rustled as he passed, as if warning him. Flocks of colorful parrots watched him, and one even brought him a shimmering blue pebble. On the sand, there were footprints, neither human nor animal. Deep in the jungle, Kai discovered ruins that looked as if they had risen from ancient times. Stone slabs were inscribed with strange symbols that glimmered when sunlight touched them. One symbol in particular caught his eye, a spiral that reminded him of a whirlwind. When he touched it, a hidden passage emerged from the wall. Inside, in a chamber illuminated by blue crystals, stood the Wind Totem, an ancient artifact shaped like a tiny tornado, surrounded by floating stones.
This is what Grandpa used to talk about.
Kai murmured, remembering tales of ancient sky sailors. When he grasped the totem, wind roared through the chamber, and the crystals began to chime. Visions flashed before Kai, his father teaching him to read wind maps, instructor Michael warning him of danger, and himself ignoring those warnings. A voice in the wind whispered,
"True courage lies in knowing when to turn back."
Kai took a deep breath.
I understand. Sometimes, it's braver to admit a mistake than to stubbornly push forward.
The totem glowed, and the wind wrapped around him like a soft blanket. When he opened his eyes again, he was standing on the runway, surrounded by his frantic parents and instructor, who had been searching for him for days.
You were gone for 3 days.
His mother sobbed. Kai simply clenched his fist, feeling something hard inside, a small piece of blue crystal. He looked up at the sky, where a single, strangely spiral-shaped cloud slowly dissipated.
You know what's the weirdest thing?
He whispered to his father.
The birds on that island, they seem to know parachute tricks we've never even dreamed of.
And as the sun set, Kai knew he'd return one day, but next time, wiser and better prepared. Because the island hadn't disappeared, it was just waiting for the right moment to reveal itself again. P.S. If you ever find a blue pebble that glimmers in the sunlight, be careful. It might be a call from the wind.
And that's a wrap for today's story. I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even learned something along the way. See you in the next video. There are plenty more adventures coming. If you missed any of our previous ones, check them out in the links above. Until then, be good, do something awesome, and listen to your mom and dad. Bye-bye.